Hello and welcome to Mark's Dice Tales. Today is a very fast battle report from Dragon Rampant, Osprey Games, and it is my Dwemer or Drider or Dark Elves from the Forgotten Realms from D&D versus Games Workshop's Sylvaneth. We're playing the Mole of Uncut, which is a mission where you have to escort an artifact from one corner of the board to the other. I'm the attacking player, I'm the Drider, and the Drow. And so I've got the weapon to start with, and I'm going to be taking it from, we will see it from west to east. When I was playing it on that side it was the other way around, but anyway. I'm going to take a weapon from west to east, and I am the Dark Elves. I have Drider, I have a Ravenous Horde, I have some Goblin Slaves, I have an Elite House Guard, and I have some Scouts. My opponent has Scouts, Light Missiles, Heavy Missiles, and a War Beast, which is a big treant. I have brought Venomous, I have brought some Blessed Weapons, and I have brought Hatred, some of the power-ups to my units. I will make them flash up on the board. I don't know if it's going to go too fast. Maybe we'll come and do a recap at the end. So the story is, a dragon has died here. We're attacking on a burial ground. The blood of the dragon has seeped into the land and corrupted some of the forest. And Jarlaxle and his Drow mercenaries have weaponized an artifact. If they can take it to the correct position on the surface world, they can set it off and wreak devastation in the area. The Tree Elves have caught wind of this and they've rallied their greatest heroes. So I've gone for a more, if I've got a 12 strength unit, I've got 12 units in it. Mostly it's only my Drider, which are a reduced unit, because I don't have 6 Drider. So every time I take 2 wounds, I'll take a Drider off instead of taking 1 off for every wound. My opponent has gone for a more reduced model count, so his guys are more like heroes. They'll take up less space, which is cool. But he'll use dice to represent their hit points. Because I'm kind of zoomed out, we won't really see the detail of the dice rolls, etc. It's just going to be the story. Let's get to it. Jarlaxle brings his mercenary army out from the Underdark and onto the western side of the battlefield. Fearing an ambush, he holds his men in wait, and the Sylvaneth, spying the foe emerging from their darkest hole, move around the burial ground into the corrupted fields of the Dragon Mound and take first initiative. The treant is cautious, seeing the hordes and the venomous weapons. He moves with caution so not to activate his wild charge. The Drider take the initiative, charge forward into the enemy scouts, striking fear into their crew and sending them fleeing. After this bold charge, the Drow shake off the sun from the surface sun and begin to move into action, seeing that there's enemies afoot. The treeman charges, greeted by the Goblin Slaves and the Ravenous Hordes. The Goblin Slaves are pushed back, but Jarlaxle sees his moment to move into the rough terrain of the Dragon Mound. Then the Elite Guard, raising their blessed weapons of Loth, charge forward into the treeman. Though their weapons strike true and aim well, activated by Loth's dark power, they are repelled back by the beast. These exchanges continue. The Trent warrior wipes out the Ravenous Horde with a swing of his mighty bow. But the goblins and the kobolds rally and take the tree beast on again. Fortunately, Jarlaxle's morale is shaken as the heroes and the mage send bolts of magic and cause him to flee off the mound back into the depths of the Underdark. The Elite House Guard again take the fight to the tree, this time causing it to retreat. Jarlaxle rallies and realises that his Drider is the fastest unit on the board, and hands off the weaponized artifact to the Drider while he moves his battered men to combat the heroes still on the other side of the board. The Drider skitters off with the weapon, and Jarlaxle moves his mercenaries and rallies the goblins back to the fight. After defeating the Trents, House Guards in a flurry of arrows and magic, and lose courage to the heroes and flee off the board. The Elven Mage holds the pass, blocking between a steep wall, stopping the Drider taking the clearest route off the board. The heroes retaliate, raining arrows down from the hill. They see off Jarlaxle and the Drider, picking up the artifacts. They need to take it back or finish off all foes on the board. Unfortunately, they do this, as only the goblins remain. They put up a valiant fight, rallying in front of the heroes, but there are no mites for the arrows and magic of the heroes. Soonly slain, the artifact is returned to the Dragon's Burial Mound, and all is safe in Faerûn again. Do 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 do. Wow, so that was it. It was a fantastic game. Out the gate, I was the attacker and had to take it from one corner to the other. And I gave the weapon to my scouts because there was a big bit of rough terrain in the middle. Generally, there's two lines of access on this battlefield. The rough terrain hill in the middle, and then you can see those two lines of access. So I thought my scouts, they have a good movement values and they can activate their movement on a 5+, so that should be very reliable. However, the first few turns I just could not roll to pass my orders, so Sylvaneth's turn, pass to me, I can't do anything, back to Sylvaneth. That happened about 3 or 4 times. The whole Elven Horde moved forward, and then finally, after my Driders passed the test, my Drow battle started happening. So we took it to the enemy. We did play with, so we played with some of the fantastical bonuses like Blessed Weapons, Venomous, etc. I had Venomous on my Drider and my Horde, and I had Blessed Weapons on the Elite Guard. And Hatred on my Elite Guard, Hatred of Treeman. And we took the side quests, which are alternative ways of getting victory points. I had Slay the Treeman, Cower Before Me, which is why I left the Sylvaneth unit battered. I needed to have 3 battered units on the board. However, because I was engaged with the Tree Beast, and that was quite hard to take down, especially with the units. I had the goblins were Bellicose scouts, so they're quite angry. They're great at attacking, but they're not so great in defense. And he took them out by attacking them. So I had to use my defense values, so it wasn't great at striking back at that tree man. And the Horde, though Venomous gave them a few hits, they were then easily wiped out. So I'm thinking I maybe need to put Venomous on something more powerful in the future. It worked great on the Driders, and they took out one of the Sylvaneth heroes fairly quickly. He thought that would stick around longer, but they took out 2 units. They took out the Sylvaneth Bellicose Scouts hero and the Sylvaneth light missile unit. But then I was left with a Mage and the Beast and a heavy missile unit. That heavy missile unit did a lot of damage to my guys. Even when we had 3 armor, when we were in the rough terrain cover, that was probably player of the match for my opponent. And fantastic game. It seemed like a twist. It looked like it was good for the Sylvaneth to begin with, then it swung in my favour, and it looked like I had a path to get into his zone. Unfortunately, I retreated because of his magic missiles, and that lost me the game. Now, I did make a mistake. When I retreated, I should have dropped the artifact in that rough terrain. I wonder if that would make a difference, because he didn't have the movement to move through that terrain, I don't think. I killed all his units with Ranger, mostly. And then I held up the Tree Beast, which maybe had Ranger and Fleetfoot to move through that terrain. Would it have made a difference for my Drider maybe moving in there, picking it up, or him moving in there to pick it up and then move it off? I don't think so. So there's not too much of a difference there. And when I rallied and had the Drider carrying the box, I was moving in with Jarlaxle, trying to take pot shots. Fortunately, I was battered at that point, so I had 2 battered units versus 2 full strength units. And I realise I'm rambling again, so I think I'm going to tie it up there. You see what happened. I went down the narrow channel, and now I'm thinking if I just went left, it would have given me more movement points, and probably just could have, with my 10-inch movement, manoeuvred around him and got off the board without too much of the terrain blocking. But I went for the blocking terrain. I only had 1 Drider left, 1 health point left, strength point. So I went for the cover of the forest and hills that we saw on that right hand eastern side. My opponent liked it. I've got another camera, so I might be able to get the oohs and ahs and that was frustrating, and my dice roll failed me kind of moments. My dice roll was a success. There were some terrible, abysmal dice rolls and some fantastic dice rolls. 1s and 6s at all the right and wrong places. It was a very good game. So Dragon Rampant, thumbs up from me. Do try it out. Again, it's one of those Osprey games. It's like a little bit of a breath of fresh air. It's light, it's easy to pick up. And playing it with full rules. I mean, I got full wipeouts. I couldn't score my final get 3 battered units because I wiped out too many of his units. So that's maybe, I wouldn't go for that quest again. Unless we had more units on the board and played with a higher points cost. This was a 24-point game. And very enjoyable. Dragon Rampant, I recommend it. Thumbs up. Other than that, I don't know what I'm playing in the near future. I fancy getting some X-Wing games in. I do have other games to write up about. I've got Warcry and Legion, I believe, and Frostgrave that I played. And I've got those just saved in my video folder. Don't know if I'm going to get around to doing those as Batreps. I hope so, because I kind of want to get Frostgrave up here just to show you a bit of how that went, because that was a 3-player game. That was interesting. Very similar to this. And other than that, my excitement currently is all for Skyrim. And I'm going to be channeling my crafting again. I've got some polystyrene blocks. I'm going to be cutting out hills and arches and waystones, such like that. And you're going to be seeing, when it arrives, end of this month, maybe next month, April maybe, you're going to be seeing some Skyrim, Modifius's Skyrim Call to Arms on this channel. So I'm waffling too much, I'm going to cut that out. Thank you very much for watching my Dice Tale. Do like and subscribe if you like the Fast Battle Report. Let me know what you think of the sort of narrative talkover and the pop-up text as well. So I'm getting some subscribers, so I must be doing something right for some of you. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye. Oh, no, maybe not. More Dragon Rampant to come, because I do want to make a undead army. I might be looking at what I can do with Skyrim armies, Imperials and Stormcloaks. And I think I can make an elemental army, or a forest-like army. I think I can make a human army, and I think I can make a undead army. So they will be next. I'm going to probably shelve my Dryaders and Dark Elves and Dwemer, as they're called in Skyrim, and Drow, as they're called in Faerun and D&D. And then might be armies that you're going to see in the future. So thank you, and thank you very much for watching. Thanks for liking. Thanks for turning up. You are fantastic. Have a nice day. Goodbye.